All right, Kathy, this is going to be the highest energy episode I've ever had in my life.
Let's go.
All right, we got Ali here. Ali has been helping with the podcast for many years. He's a good friend and now a new founder of a business he's been talking about for a few years. Finally, this pussy stepped up and actually built the business. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So you debuted the product this past Saturday to a small group of us at Run Club.
Yes, I did.
And you give a really compelling pitch. I was actually surprised.
Okay.
You're usually not that charming. And
well, I have to be now that I'm actually selling a product.
All right.
So before I was selling group chat privately. Now I'm selling Raise publicly.
So give us the pitch that you gave us at Run Club because I was sold after it.
All right. So we have two products in the lineup that we actually launched last Friday. There is a Energy Plus and a Hydration Plus. And basically, Raise Energy is a nootropic-based energy drink, and it supports cognitive functions and adaptogens to help with mood stability. So you have natural caffeine, you have L-theanine, you have tyrosine, you have rhodiola rosea, which is a fantastic plant. And for the Run Club specifically, that is what helps with stamina and endurance. And then it helps fight against fatigue and tiredness.
Wow.
Yeah.
So would RFK approve this?
Yes, absolutely. I think RFK actually started talking about nootropics early on.
Yes. He's a big nicotine guy.
Yeah, super big nicotine guy.
So let me ask you a question. This is a very crowded space. So it's a powder form.
Yep.
You mix in 8 ounces of water?
We recommend 12 to 16. If you want more flavor, go less. If you want a subtle flavor profile, go a little bit more.
Okay. And I tried both. The energy I had right before our run, and I had the electrolytes right after our run.
Yep.
I have to say I was actually feeling really good before and after. On the energy side, what is it that gives it a clean energy versus what's out in the market today?
Yeah, for sure. So basically we use natural caffeine to start, and then we pair
What is natural caffeine? I don't know what that means.
So natural caffeine, our caffeine comes from green tea. So we actually pull the caffeine from green tea and use that. So it's natural versus synthetic caffeine. So a lot of big energy drinks, they use synthetic caffeine and they have high sugar contents in it. They also have artificial flavors and artificial sweeteners in it. So with Raised, you're getting natural caffeine from green tea. And then you're not getting the jitters and the crash that you traditionally get with traditional energy drinks, because we pair it with this thing called L-theanine. L-theanine also comes from green tea. It's an amino acid. When you pair it with caffeine, it gives you a very clean, sustained energy. So you just feel very focused. And it's also really good for mental wellness.
I feel great.
So our whole product lineup is basically physical and mental performance. We want to focus on both. I think there's a really good synergistic effect when you provide ingredients in a formula to promote both of those factors.
So what's distribution?
So distribution right now, it's all online. It's at drinkraised.com. We have
RAISE.
RAISED, drink RAISED.
Oh, ED, sorry.
Yeah, drinkraised.com. We just launched the powders a week ago. Our first product was a can that you guys both have also tried. We're going to bring the can back into the lineup in a few months and just keep building on the powders. And I just want to also say that our electrolytes, as you pointed out, is absolutely a crowded space. But going back to our mission of physical and mental performance, our electrolyte formula is a little bit different. So we use Celtic salt as our main salt, and that's a mineral-rich salt. And we also included 200 milligrams of magnesium glycinate in there. We have vitamin D, vitamin C, coconut powder, and potassium. So basically, this is supposed to be an electrolyte and daily wellness drink, not just electrolytes.
And we talked about this. Element is an electrolyte powder that I've been using for the last year or two.
Tasty.
The salt is good.
Yep, we like the salt.
Give me the difference between yours and theirs, because I would say that's a competitor.
Well, isn't Liquid IV a competitor too?
Liquid IV's ingredient, it's very sugary. Element is 0 sugar. It's stevia monk fruit, which I believe you're stevia monk fruit.
We're stevia monk fruit, yeah.
But your salt, talk about that.
Yeah, so as you were saying, Liquid IV unfortunately does have a very high sugar content. So it's a little bit tough to include them in a
wellness category.
With
but he got the bag.
Yeah.
He got a big bag.
Yeah. And I think like if you look at the trend in that, he invented a category.
He invented the category.
And now people are like, oh, it has a little too much sugar.
Better.
Yeah, the better for you version of what that is.
Yeah. So when comparing to Element's taste profile is actually fantastic. I was a big Element fan when it first came out. My problem with Element is they use sodium chloride, which is a table salt. So they actually strip all of the minerals from the actual salt. So you're kind of not really getting much. You're just getting table salt with it. On top of that, you're getting potassium and a little bit of magnesium. And it's not even the better magnesium that you're getting. So with our formula, like I said, you're getting the Celtic salt, mineral-rich sea salt, which is 83 trace minerals. It comes from the region of France. And then on top of that, you're getting a full dose of magnesium glycinate, which is the most bioavailable magnesium in any formula. That actually was really, really big, where people started supplementing with magnesium daily because of the health benefits. And so what I did is I added it into the drink.
I take magnesium.
You take magnesium? Yeah. You take it in a capsule form?
Mm-hmm.
So now you want to
actually help for sleep.
Yeah.
It has really good sleep properties. So it improves your sleep quality.
Yep.
So you could take magnesium in the morning, afternoon, or at night. But now what you want to do is you actually want to replace your magnesium capsule with these electrolytes, because when you actually drink your supplements, it absorbs more into your body.
So what's the plan? D2C right now, and then when do you go to retail?
D2C right now, we're actually doing our first kind of like retail opportunity in the next coming weeks. We're partnering with Pink Dot Express here in LA. Right. They're going to be the first to carry us. And then slowly but surely, we're going to kind of expand in more gyms here locally in LA.
That's how Celsius actually got viral.
Yeah.
Through the gyms.
Yeah. And I think it's good. It's such a great product for the gyms because it's for athletes, for performance. Our energy kicks in differently. So you could use it for like a high performing activity, or you could just kind of like chill and vibe, and you're not going to get crashed out or jittery with it. So I think that's really unique about it. So anywhere from yoga to like something high intensity, and then obviously electrolytes for recovery.
So obviously everyone go to drinkraise.com. Buy the product. It's great.
Is there a code? Because we're not doing anything without a code.
D, of course, I brought a code for you guys here.
Okay, what's the code?
All right.
How much is it, first of all?
First of all, it's $35 for 15.
Okay.
What does 15 mean?
15 packs.
sticks. So basically
15 drinks.
Yes. So
and you take one a day.
You take one a day.
Okay.
Yes. And I brought the Cathys a really, really great code.
Okay.
So basically, first 20 items are going to be 50% off.
Wow.
With code group chat. And then after that, everything's going to be 20% off for a week.
Okay.
I like that.
So group chat is the code?
Group chat is the code.
50% off.
50% off for first 20 items.
That's a steep enough discount where I would dip my toe.
So $17.50.
$17.50 I could do all day.
And honestly, we just want to get the product in people's hands because I feel like this is a better for you product that actually has a lot more benefits than what's currently out there. And you're going to see that it definitely improves whatever it is that you're doing.
That's pretty hard for me, but I'll try.
Try it. Let me know how it is.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I know it's been a journey.
Yeah. So separate from your business that we're all rooting for, obviously we've known you for a long time now.
Yep.
As an entrepreneur, because I was very confused, like what you were doing for the last 3 years. So how do you sustain yourself as an entrepreneur? Like you had a very successful career.
Yeah.
And then you started this business, but then you had to figure this out. So what was the mental journey through that?
Yeah, I mean, I will say it wasn't easy, but I feel like I have...
Because I always ask you that question.
You did. And I just have a bigger mission here. I really care about mental well-being. The reason why I actually even started this business in the first place is because my dad actually got diagnosed with Alzheimer's about 13 years ago. And I just saw firsthand what a cognitive decline could do to a loved one. And as it increasingly gets worse and worse and worse, and that's what even piqued my interest in learning about ingredients that support mental health. I feel like it's not talked about enough. And I discovered nootropics, and nootropics is a really big industry that is just starting. I think it's going to be a huge category in the coming years.
Well, I think wellness broadly has now gone mainstream. And you see that with the decline of alcohol. You see an uptick in gyms. You see what Ozempic is going to do for mass America, mass world, there's going to be, once all of these people get on Ozempic and lose weight, they're going to feel good.
Yeah.
And they're going to want everything in their power to continue to stay feeling good. And so, yeah, I think from a trend perspective, you know, if you weren't at Expo West, you missed that.
I wasn't there. You talk shit about it.
Talked about it.
I was too busy building out the site.
But, you know, when you go to Expo West, you see the momentum in natural and organic foods.
Just that shift.
And I think the main thing that we've all learned is that there were a lot of false truths in the food industry.
Right.
Like I don't know if you're too young, but when I was growing up, I'd watch television and they would tell you eggs were bad for you on television.
Yeah.
They used to tell you butter is bad for you.
Well, they
They
did
used to
that
say
up until
milk.
recently.
What?
That narrative has shifted back recently.
Yeah, like we eat full grass-fed butter and it has no impact on my cholesterol, no impact on my heart, no impact on anything. I eat fucking 5 eggs a day. And I think like the entire food industry was playing a game with us, trying to sell us this like diet food. And like, we know that this shit doesn't work. It was not effective. All the diet foods came in the last 30 years and we got fatter than ever.
Yeah, I mean,
and if we had just ate full fat food, we'd be in a much better place.
I mean, growing up, we ate cereal and thought it was healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cheerios was the commercial.
Yeah, they said heart fucking association
You
is
will get
good.
diabetes if you eat Cheerios every day.
Yeah.
I mean, cereal commercials were hot though. The marketing was good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it's just sugar.
It's all sugar. But going back to your question, Anand, it's just resilience. You know, I think similar to what we're trying to do here, it's mental resilience, physical resilience. Like there's a bigger mission here and we're just going to fight for it.
No, I'm excited for you. And I've seen the work you put in and I saw it couldn't have been easy to even get to this point. And, you know, congratulations. And we will root for you, promote you, do whatever we can to help you.
Thank you.
Drinkraised.com code group chat. Congrats.
Group chat. And follow us on Instagram and TikTok at DrinkRaised.
Okay. Only if the content's good.
Content's great.
Oh.
We're a 2-man team, but we're pumping out some good content.
Yeah, I'll have to do
I'll be the judge
I'd
of it.
love Hoff to do a post. The boys.
the boys.
We actually got
You
something.
should do with the boys.
We're talking to the boys to do something fun.
Blackout Mike.
Boys have high energy.
We got a fun little event that we're talking about.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Now we're going to get to some news.
Yep.
Hey guys,
Hey.
happy group chat Sunday.
Happy Group Chat Sunday. You know, we had just finished interviewing Ali and we were just talking about resilience. And it was interesting. So I had a day, you know, every weekend, my weekend is now like basically sitting at a park for sports.
Yep.
And my oldest, Dominic, played 2 baseball games and a soccer game. He lost all 3. And I don't think he's ever lost every sport in a weekend. But, you know,
It happens.
It happens. And,
Yep.
you know, he was like, it was an interesting dynamic where I realized something that's so important that I think a lot of people don't get to experience unless they do something competitive, not just sports, but just competition, period.
Yeah.
Could be dance, debate, chess, whatever it is. It's learning how to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I think it's so, sports is amazing at it because it's like a public loss, which I think is like incredibly important to build resilience.
Right.
But for the most part, like if you are not engaged in anything where there's competitive nature while you're growing up, you don't really learn how to lose. And so you get to college, you've never really lost. You get to work, you never really lost.
Yep.
And in work, when money's on the line, people lose. There's winners and losers in capitalism, unless you live in China.
Right.
Where
Then you're all losers.
Except for speed.
Right.
So the problem becomes like, unless you live in a socialist.
The point you're trying to make is basically like the trophy era is really stupid. And
Well, it's not even, forget the trophy era, because I think
no, but what you're
people are not even playing. I think that's the bigger problem. I actually think, forget the trophy era. They're like,
personally, I remember as a young kid, not much older than Dominic, I'd go home crying when I lost like a basketball game or a soccer, or I didn't play soccer,
whatever,
baseball game, whatever. But I'd go home crying and be so sad.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good lesson to learn.
Yeah. I just think, one of the things that I am seeing is that a lot of people do shy away from competition because they want to protect their children, rightfully so.
Right.
In competition, you lose, and it's a public loss, right? Like, you don't win something in anything. It's like, oh, you feel bad for your kid.
Right.
And I think what's happening in the workforce today feels.
Oh, you're bringing it to the workforce. Okay, where are you going with this?
I'm saying, like, broadly, when you see the workforce, some of and these are the articles I read, like Wall Street Journal or Fortune. And you see young people complaining about the workforce and why things are, not fair. I think a lot has to do with because they haven't lost, right?
I will say, like, I don't know, Dee, how your team shakes out, but I have a lot of young women on our team, and I can tell the difference between like ones who played sports, and those, because some like young girls who played volleyball or whatever, they're very competitive.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's my point is I'm not even, I'll say it beyond sports.
Right.
If you were in debate, you were in dance, you were in chess, you did anything where you were on like a stage and had to win.
Right.
I think your personalities are very different.
I did speech and debate.
Yeah.
And I got embarrassed.
Yes. And I think that's important.
Because I also, one thing I see too is that like the feeling, so you're mainly talking about the feeling of losing and how to deal with losing well, but the feeling of.
So like I had a day where Dominic had played 2 baseball games and he actually played really well. His team lost and he was very frustrated that his team lost. And then he went to soccer. He subbed for another kid's soccer team, so he didn't feel bad because it wasn't his day-to-day team. So he was okay with the loss. And then we went and we were at dinner and he played pool and he lost because he was playing me and Haley and we didn't have to play pool.
Right.
And so he was crying and I was like, this is awesome. I think it's great that he's learning to lose. And I'm sure there's books about it. I'm sure Drama's read some book about.
Yeah, I was going to make a couple of recommendations. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's like, I think parents have an obligation to actually teach their child how to lose.
Yeah. And look, what I was going to say is on top of what you're saying is the feeling of learning that you can then come back next week and win.
Yes.
Or it's within your willpower to like try harder and then win. And you start to tie, like, I also think that a lot of young people or a lot of people don't have like this, it's not tied together that your own like taking agency for a problem can lead to a different, better outcome. And so there's a little bit of hopelessness of like, sometimes I lose, sometimes I win. I guess everything just sucks. I mostly lose, and so being able to like, one thing that I notice a lot too with different people that I work with is the people that know that if you lose, you can make a change and then win later are a very different type of person than one who don't have that same tie to the outcome. So
just to my personal experience, I knew I had athletic limitations in my teens. I was like, I'm never going to be able to be the most exceptional athlete as a, I'm not going to play D1 in any sport. I'm not going to be able to play college sports. I knew that pretty early on. But with speech and debate, what I did learn is there's a thing called extemporaneous speech. They basically give you a topic and you have to debate it. And I got embarrassed the first few times I did it. And then I realized all I have to do is go read Time, Newsweek, and The Economist, and I can be better.
Right.
And I knew I could do that. I know I can't be a better basketball player than someone that's 6'5" or 6'2".
Right.
As like a small Indian dude. Right. Like, but I was like, okay, I can figure this out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the thing that like he was too fired up, but I will eventually share with him when he's a little bit older is if you watched, and we talked about this in the pod a few months ago, last summer actually, Roger Federer's commencement speech at, I think it was some Ivy League school he spoke at.
I think it was a little bit ago, but I know it keeps going viral.
No, it was last June. I watched it live.
Yeah, last year. Yeah.
Last June. And he references that in his career, he only won 51% of the points.
Yeah.
51%. Right. That's it.
Right.
He's one of the greatest athletes ever, and he barely has a winning record when it comes to points won.
Right.
And that is a very difficult thing to teach a 7-year-old.
Right.
Because every loss counts, every loss stings. But I think it's important because it's interesting because, you know, in youth sports, it's gotten so competitive. Everyone stacks teams, right? Like you're seeing it at 7 years old, 8 years old already, right? Like a father puts together a team, gets the best players in the community, and they're just not going to lose a fucking game.
Right.
And then they eventually have to go to the city finals or, you know, regional, and then they'll probably get their ass kicked. And so it's a very fun dynamic to see watching your kids like win, lose, how they respond to it and things like that, because I do think it's like an important lesson. And one of the shout outs, and I'll just speed up to it and we'll get to the shout out later, and person who asked for it, they said they have a son in the 12th grade or they have a child in the 12th grade. And they asked, what would you recommend they study going into college? And I thought about that question in the context of my own child. I think it's less about what exact topic they study, because I think they should study what they're interested in, they'll actually engage and be passionate about. I do think the most important thing about the collegiate experience is actually getting experience in their adult life. You get this 4-year window to grow the fuck up. You get 4 years of being around people you've never been around, different socioeconomic backgrounds, cultures, languages, and you have to experience it all. If you sit in your dorm room and play video games and get high, you missed out. You missed out on like an incredible experience to really, really mature. And we talked about this in the last episode. In the AI world, it's all about EQ. It's not about IQ anymore.
Social and emotional intelligence, the only things that matter.
Yeah. And
because everything else is solved. You could be educated, not educated, pull up one of the 4 apps and figure anything out.
Yeah. And I think it's less about what you study. It's more about what you experience those 4 years. Like, I would argue we would probably both regret not studying abroad.
I do.
Yeah, that's like a mistake. We were we had to be home. We wanted to see our parents. Like, we were homebodies. We should have gone and studied abroad.
I agree.
I would even argue that part of going to college is leaving home. Right?
Yeah,
like, we stayed 10 miles away. I was home every weekend.
Yeah. Our mom would still do our laundry.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's laundry.
Like, such a basic part is like, can you show up to class without your mom making you?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah. We're all getting alerts.
What's the alert?
Alerts. What is this?
What's going on? Stolen old person?
An endangered missing advisory has been activated on behalf of the police department. Missing and endangered. Somebody's missing.
Someone's
Elderly?
missing since March 29th.
That's today.
Yesterday.
No, yesterday.
Yeah.
A little late for the alert.
Yeah. I should have done that yesterday.
I mean, come on. Jesus. They're
All right,
already in Nevada.
Okay, speaking of losers, let's move on. Coreweave. So Coreweave is a company I said a year ago, I do not know what the fuck they do. Because they were raising money hand over fist, and everyone was like, Coreweave, AI, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward, I still do not know what they do, but they went public at a $20 billion valuation.
Yeah.
And the IPO, which all intents and purposes is a fucking flop, was completely held up by institutions and somehow still stayed flat on the day. It was priced at 40. I think the company is trading at damn near 20 billion still, but I don't get it.
Does anyone know? Do you know, Anand?
I'm putting it in Grok right now. I'm not going to pretend I'm smart enough to know what it is.
No, I mean, I've heard everyone say, oh, it's the cloud for GPUs.
Is this the biggest, most hyped IPO of the year?
Well, I mean, it's just
I'm going to read it. I'll read the Grok. Coreweave is a cloud computing company that specializes in providing high-performance computing resources, particularly for workloads that require significant computational power. What does that mean?
Nothing.
Right.
They do nothing.
That's worth 20 billion.
That's 20 billion.
That description.
I was at a conference where this guy spoke. He's brilliant, but I didn't get 20 billion vibes from him.
Well, it was, I think, last valued at 40.
So this really? Is a down round?
Yeah. This, the IPO,
can you confirm that?
I'm pretty sure they expected to go out at 40.
Expected, but what was the last fundraise?
I'll put it in Crunchbase.
Because so the good news is, in the AI age, you could still fool everyone.
Oh, I bet in the AI age, there's still so much foolery to be had.
Tomfoolery?
Yes.
It's coming.
All types of foolery. I bet you, I mean, if the IPO market was hotter, it would be, if it was 2021, anything with the word AI would be 50 billion plus.
Yeah. I mean, Coreweave would have been 100 billion in a 2021.
And would have taken off on day one.
Yeah.
So Microsoft is 62% of their revenue.
Yeah.
1.92 billion. So that's 62%. That means their revenue is what, like 3?
Well, yeah. A little bit more. Like 4 and change.
I mean, this is what NVIDIA is selling their chips to, these guys.
Yeah, it's the Ponzi.
Yeah, they're all.
It's all like
AI
NVIDIA
might be a big Ponzi.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Because you're going to realize you could do it for so much cheaper.
I don't even think it's all that. I think everyone just got too excited about it.
I don't know.
Is this bad news, do you think, for the larger IPO storyline?
No, I mean, the IPO market, I don't think has anything to do with Coreweave, because IPO market will come back when interest rates go down.
Yeah.
In 6 months. Like, that's realistically what's going to happen. Coreweave they just was like, I got to sneak out and make my fucking 20 bill real quick.
Before these tariffs
Coreweave's like a brand new company. It just got started.
Right.
It's like a few years old, I think.
2017.
Yeah, it's not even 10 years old. It's like,
yeah,
I think it's a cash grab, and good for them that they convinced people to do it. I think the thing that I knew it was a bullshit IPO is when Robinhood pushed it out and say, you can get $5,000 allocation at Coreweave. I was like, yeah, anything good, you don't get access to.
Right. They're part of the Ponzi.
They also have $8 billion in debt.
Yeah.
This company's a donut.
Yeah.
They have $8 billion.
I said it last year. I had no idea what everyone was like. Coreweave, Anthropic. No one knows what these companies do.
You don't need to. That's the point.
Yeah.
You just write it off.
Yeah.
Just write it off.
Because you'll have people that sound sophisticated on tech podcasts talking about all these companies.
You don't know what cloud, HB, do, GPT, blah, blah, blah is? I'm like, no.
And their whole customer base is Microsoft.
Yes.
So if Microsoft says, hey, we found someone new, what happens to the company?
Who can verify Microsoft even pays them?
I don't think you verify anything at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. How about this? In the other, I mean, this seems
not far from this situation.
Right. So XAI has acquired X, formerly known as Twitter, in an all-stock transaction. I forget. I don't have it up on my screen. Was it valued at 80 billion or something?
So the total new company is 85.
Right.
X AI bought X. A very competitive process.
Yes.
$33 billion.
Huge bidding war. So, but the good news is if you were an investor in Elon's takeover of Twitter,
yeah, you're fine.
You're looking pretty good.
You're probably whole.
Yeah, because he bought at 44 billion, that's 33 billion, and then XAI is 80 billion.
Yeah.
I mean, this is great.
I mean, that was the thesis.
If Coreweave is worth 20,
right,
XAI is worth 150.
Right.
So I had a conversation with someone in tech this past week, and this is why Coreweave exists and why the next Coreweave will exist.
Oh, God.
Not tech. It's just mechanics of how funds work.
You just have to give money.
You keep, I mean, everyone knows this. You keep raising money, you have to invest it, right? And you don't get paid to buy Apple stock, Microsoft stock.
That's we already have ETFs.
Anyone can do that.
Right.
So you just have to get the next new shiny name.
Coreweave.
And you get the next new shiny name, you keep raising money and you get markups. So whoever invested in Coreweave, 2017, 18, 19, they look like heroes.
Yeah.
And they're going to find the next Coreweave, the next, XAI, and your only job is to get markups, not actually invest in companies that are building anything.
Right.
That's great.
That's VC.
I love VC.
I mean, what a great game.
I love it. I have no problem with it.
Whatever. If people are giving you money to do this, do it.
Yeah, it's great.
But if you're
Congrats
a VC in on Coreweave and you're playing that game, are you cashing out on the IPO? That's how you're.
Hell yeah.
You're out.
You're out. You sold into it.
So your model is get in as early as you can, get your markups, take it public, cash out. You have your returns.
You're missing a big step.
Okay.
Get your markup, then raise a new fund where you get fees.
Right. But I mean, you
need the markup to get the new fund.
Right. But the other thing is when you're raising your new fund, I mean, if you cashed out on the IPO, you did it. You did your job for your investors.
Yeah. You do it. They're heroes.
It's honestly, being a capital allocator is one of the most amazing businesses because
that's why I told you it's never going anywhere. You were like, oh, VC, this. No, it's never going anywhere. It's going to be bigger than ever.
Right.
Now you're talking XAI.
You also get a bill back all your personal expenses if you're the GP.
That's great.
So all the people you see at all the fancy places, that's billed to the LPs.
That's great. I don't want them to put out their own money.
D's in Cabo. I need to take a private jet and meet Ghost.
Yeah.
That's billed to the LPs.
I know. No one's ever done that for me. Yeah.
No, they may meet you there and you don't know how
you don't get to take the jet. Yeah. You're not on the jet.
I thought they're going to pay for my Cabo.
No.
You have to go there on your own dime, but they're going for free.
I'm not a successful enough company.
It's honestly one of the most amazing business models of all time.
So XAI.
It keeps working. Here we are.
XAI at 85 billion, which just got made up a year ago, did not exist.
Yeah.
It's worth 85 billion.
Yep.
It now owns X, aka Twitter. Honestly, at the Coreweave valuation, it's a steal.
Right.
I'd bet on XAI.
I mean, would you rather have XAI or Anthropic?
XAI.
I'd 100% rather have XAI. And big news is, and the rumor's been circulating, and now it's like in press for the last couple of months. Tesla is opening a diner, aka diner/drive-in/charging station on Santa Monica and La Brea.
That's dangerous.
Why?
I mean, you see the protests.
Gonna
Not
get shot
saying
up,
I
you think?
care about it. Yeah.
You're saying
Really
bad
bad.
location.
Santa Monica and La Brea, we know what goes on there.
Right. Security.
So is the whole point
That's
of this
where
like
the Target is, right?
The
Target Best Buy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty liberal.
That's not going to be good.
A lot of Molotov
But it depends
cocktails.
how you walk in. Like, if you don't let anyone without a Tesla in, then you're good.
It'll be protested. You've seen
Those
all
are
the
fake.
protests.
The
Oh, you think
prote-
they're fake?
100% they're fake.
Elon's posting all of them.
Yes, but he also posted the fake. People leave exact time. There was one that said 12 o'clock.
But you mean that like by fake, you mean like funded by the left?
Yes.
No, so all right, if
I was shorting, forget left. I actually don't think it's political. If I was shorting Tesla,
it's a good moment.
I would pay for the protest just to make money. Why not?
So the one thing I can tell you for a fact, if you go by a hotel, the Beverly Hilton or the Waldorf, any of these, they have labor protests. They're paid for people to go protest.
Yes.
Yeah.
So who's paying for the people protesting?
Maybe a
Tesla?
short seller of Tesla.
Soros.
I think it's a short seller of Tesla. Simple as that.
Chanos?
Why not? If you think you can make a couple $1 billion,
even in front of hospitals, it's paid for protesters.
Yes,
like we need money for the nurses. It's protesters.
Protesting is fake. No one's protesting.
Right.
They're not.
What a fascinating! Like, I wonder what percentage of protests in the U.S. this year were authentic. I wonder completely
0. The only protest
I will say the protests during COVID were authentic.
Yes.
Not that they meant that they actually cared.
I think
the George Floyd
I think it was a mix.
Yeah,
I think it was a mix. I'm being honest.
But isn't there some videos of like weird bricks and stuff? Like, don't you think those got some gasoline was poured on that fire?
That's what I think happened. I mean,
we know very Republican people that went and did the bike and marched,
but I'm just saying it doesn't mean that it was not gaslit by it was an opportunity to show chaos.
Man, protests are just all fake.
It's boredom. I think it was boredom.
But you know, to be fair, I actually think the Elon protests and the things are working because people are saying, even my 7-year-old says, we're talking about Tesla, and he's like,
Tesla or Tesla?
And he was like, yeah, you know, some people say Elon's a bad guy.
Your son said that?
Yeah. He's like, I'm like, who said that? He's like, I hear it. So he's probably hearing it at school.
Obviously.
Someone is saying that, Elon Musk is a bad guy.
Yeah. It's definitely
or on
working.
the bus or wherever, at the playground, wherever it is. So people, obviously parents have strong opinions. They're saying it. And so if a 7-year-old is getting that momentum, then it's clearly working.
The problem is I just don't think it lasts that long. Like you can
it won't,
wait
because
it out.
The problem is it's too innovative a company. And on April 2nd, AKA Liberation Day, we're going to tariff the fuck out of every auto manufacturer. Does not make cars. No more auto parts, everything. USA. Goddamn USA.
USA.
So here's my question to the two of you, because you know where I stand. And I don't want to make this political, and I want to make it business.
Okay.
When do the rich guys turn on this?
In 6 months. They can stomach 6 months.
On tariffs?
No, just everything he's doing is a populist movement, which if you voted for him in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, he's doing what you think is good for your communities.
Yeah.
But everyone he has around him are billionaires. From Besant to Sachs to Elon to Lutnick, all these guys are business guys. Everyone that is of that ilk has lost a lot of money in the last 60 days.
Right.
Yeah. I think 6 months. I think everyone has 6 months patience. They're not waiting 2 fucking years. They have 6 months. If in 6 fucking months from April 2nd, there's not meaningful change in the economy, he's toast. That's my gut.
Because, I mean, we know how politics work and we know how rich people work.
Yeah.
They don't care. Everyone cares about themselves.
Right.
I say 6 months.
I like 6 months. I'd also, I like 6 months.
From today or 6 months from January 20th?
No, I think 6 months from tariffs.
Because here's the thing that could happen. A lot of countries could decide. We're still in negotiating phase. So really the only reason why all these tariffs are happening is because we're matching, not because we're being necessarily bullies. So if other countries lowered their tariffs on us and he wins this battle, then he'll be looked at like a hero with all of those people. If
nobody caves, then he loses.
Yeah, it's a game of chicken right now.
And by the way, the only people that matter is what does China, what does India, and maybe a few other like Arab countries because of oil.
Right.
Nothing else matters. The EU tariffs don't fucking matter. Like, we just doesn't matter. Canada does not matter. Mexico does not matter. It matters with China and India.
It's just fascinating because we know who he cares about personally, and what he's doing is affecting the people he cares about personally.
Yeah, but I'm going to be honest with you, because you said that on like last week's episode, I think, and I just want to say, I'm not trying to say, I know this could be sensitive, that Trump is like this all amazing, great guy. But I do think, even if you say he's a narcissist, right? And that, or whatever you want to say.
Well, he is.
Right.
That's for sure.
Okay. So even if he's a narcissist, I think there's a chance that more so than he's motivated by rich people liking him, he might be motivated with this picture that he could go down as in history as the best president ever for the people. And I think he might be trying to actually accomplish that. Now, is that actually possible? I have no idea. Are the chances high? Not, I wouldn't say so. But I do think, I don't know that it's as short-sighted as he wants the rich guys at Mar-a-Lago to like him. I think he's going for, like in the history books, like turning the country towards the everyday man. I don't know if it's actually possible, but I kind of get the vibe that that's his motivation.
That's fair. I think there's a part of it this time around that feels true. I think 16, that was not the case.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
But I also think this time he has nothing to lose. He's out in 4 years anyway.
Well, he's asking for his third term.
I know, but
he has the third term to lose.
Right, so right. The point is, if you were the populist guy, why would you get billionaires to be surrounded by you to run the administration?
They're smart guys still.
I think that's still smart. Brilliant. Let me tell you two things. I think number one, that's still just objectively smart. Like, we can hate, I know we don't on this pod, but like people can hate billionaires. Most billionaires are pretty fucking smart. And I do think that he's bringing out of people this sense of duty. I really do. Like when you watch the interview with the Doge crew and the Airbnb guy and the multiple billionaires with Elon and Elon himself, I think that a lot of people are tapping into this. Like, it's the first time, like if we went to war in the past and like your everyday man felt a sense of duty to enlist in the army, I think he has created this weird sense of duty with smart and talented and people with resources to actually change the trajectory of the country. And I don't know if they have the, diamond hands to do it in past 6 months, but I do think that's what they're trying to do.
We all know these types of people. They don't.
Right. But we do know that a lot of these people, their lives are objectively worse helping Doge, helping, even Saks. Like, I would say objectively, it's a worse day-to-day life, but they're hoping for the glory of being a part of a rare moment to change the course of the country. I think he's really like tapping into that with people.
Yeah. And I think it's just how quickly things change.
It's on. So my last political take on all of this is that in 2016, we had Trump derangement syndrome, which was anything he said or did, everyone was like, this guy's crazy. This guy's crazy.
Right.
2025, anything he says or does, everyone's like, this is the most genius thing on planet Earth. It's just the dichotomy of what happened in 9 years.
But that's also in your world. I think it changed impressive. In your world.
That's resilience. Trump knows how to lose.
Yeah, he sure does.
Let me tell you something. That guy can fucking lose.
Right. I'm just seeing it from, all my people that are in my circles.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks he's a genius.
I think that's a tech thing.
Every day.
I think if you still walk through like certain parts, definitely LA, like a lot of people still, don't get me wrong, way more than 2016 like him, but a lot of people still have pretty gnarly Trump derangement. And Elon, I mean, look, Elon's a Nazi.
I think
Elon's
more people have Elon derangement syndrome.
I will say, just anecdotally, I see fewer Teslas than I did before.
I don't. I see the same.
I see Rivians nonstop.
Yeah, because you're in the nicest neighborhood in the world. Normal people drive Teslas. Tesla's number one car.
Tesla?
It's the number one car in the world. It's not going anywhere from number one. And he's smart with pricing. The offers he's giving you, you could just hate his guts, but the deal is too good. At the end of the day, it's about money. And so he does have a PR crisis with the brand that he cannot last much
all right,
longer.
let's think about it from just Tesla's business kind of outlook. Clearly, he's divided the country.
Yeah.
And do you think in 6 months, a year, 2 years, if he's still in this role, it has an effect on
It depends on the innovation of the company, purely. Like,
you think it's just if the product's better, it's fine.
The product has to be fucking better than everything else out there. So if he gets to autonomous driving, he gets to humanoid robots, he does the robo taxi, the diner has good food in West Hollywood.
Are you going to the diner?
100%. I need a Tesla though. I need to get one just to go to the fucking diner.
Right. Is the whole point of that to like create an experience around charging your car? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I mean, maybe he doesn't like the food in fucking WeHo. I don't know. Like,
it's just something to do, right?
It's something to do. It's a good brand moment. It's going to be like photographed from people all over the world, right? It's a drive-in theater in the middle of West Hollywood. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
What that cost?
Yeah,
that thing's getting fucking Molotov cocktailed so quick.
But it's interesting that none of us have a Tesla.
Yeah, I mean, none of us have an EV. Period.
I don't.
That just tells you how big the opportunity is still. Like you assume within the next decade, 50% of the population probably will have EVs.
Well, isn't there a law in California?
That got delayed.
Oh, it did.
That's fake.
Yeah.
Wishful thinking.
The other company I wanted to talk about that like we shit on so hard during GameStop, which was Robinhood, is like completely back from the dead.
I know. I can't believe it, dude.
It's unbelievable.
This is why CEO.
Vlad knows how to lose. He was dead.
Yeah, bro.
Vlad, the CEO and founder of Robinhood, was dead. He was in the ditch. People were digging dirt on him. And this motherfucker.
I mean, even that movie, that fucking GameStop movie, what was that called? Oh, Stupid Money or something? Stupid Money?
Dumb Money.
Dumb Money. They made him look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Like mean, some people just know how to survive bad PR, man. It's
Robinhood
crazy.
is worth $40 fucking billion.
I looked at that. We were actually early investors in Robinhood through our fund.
Yeah.
And the investors sold at $5 billion, so they lost 8x.
Damn.
Dummies.
I mean, this guy survived. There needs to be like studies on. Like, so I don't know if this is fucked up or not.
Here's my point. This is why I'm comparing it to Tesla. Robinhood had a worse image than Tesla.
By far.
The worst.
The worst image amongst their own customers.
Yes. But
Tesla customers love Tesla.
Yeah.
Right. 100%. The core demo of Robinhood hated Robinhood.
And the problem is Robinhood's product.
You just got to keep going.
So far superior than everything else. This is such an undervalued company at $40 billion.
You just got to keep going and making good product. It's like you just.
Yes, and by the way, like they launched a feature because cash was a concern for their customer base, and they launched a product where people can get cash delivered, physical cash delivered on demand right to your doorstep for people that have the Robinhood Gold accounts.
That would have been great in the gambling days, you know?
Yeah. And so, and then I think the point being is that like, if you look at as crazy as that sounds, what's better? Robinhood casually delivering cash to their tens of millions of customers, or having the most expensive real estate in every corner of America where fucking 10 old ladies are your tellers? What's a better fucking business?
Right.
I will say you have to get rid of the Indian. The Indian was holding him back. This is a rare tech case.
Yeah, sacrificial lamb. Got to get rid of him.
And Vlad the Russian.
Yeah. Chop that curry up.
That's another against the grain. You know, that is not the flow of culture at the moment. Usually the Indian should have came in and saved it. Vlad's out. Russian's out.
No.
It's like Rocky IV.
Yeah. I mean, you know, things got to change.
Wow.
The momentum has shifted.
When it comes to that level of resilience, because I bet if you were inside of Robinhood in 2021, you were like, this shit is...
No, 2020?
2020?
21? Was it 21 when
21,
everything
right?
went south?
I think 21. That's when it was. Everything was bonkers.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, and they stopped the trading and all that. Yeah.
Inside of Robinhood, you had to think like, okay, well, this is fucking dead. There's no way.
This guy stopped trading on a stock,
and everyone knew it. And it was in a movie. There was a fucking cinematic release film that showed that.
Robinhood will end up being the JP Morgan of our generation. 100%. I'm so confident.
I think Coinbase will, but yeah, sure. They're the same valuation at this point.
I know, but like it's just a broader audience because crypto is going to take time. It's still not 100. There's not an incentive for current financial institutions in countries to just accept the broad base of crypto. Why? It'll be big, but I really believe
I think they'll both be great.
Yeah, I think Robinhood is just like,
I think they will both be $1 trillion companies.
It's definitely not one or the other, but I think Robinhood will definitely have like, they'll do their sports betting thing. They'll do it's like anywhere to gamble or bet on.
And they even got like their own version of poly market now.
Yeah,
prediction markets and like they're just attacking everything in such a high level. And the experience, to be frank, it's just fucking better.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It is great. And it's interesting that Vlad stuck around because they all took billions off the table. And he's still doing it.
Vlad's the goat.
Yeah.
I take it all back, Vlad.
Nerves of steel on Vlad.
We roasted Vlad.
I mean, he did the dumbest thing you could possibly do. It's just no one cares. It's also like a good reminder.
He actually did everything right. He made the right people happy.
True.
And now he's fucking, he's going to end up being one of the richest people on earth.
True.
And where's the Indian?
Gone.
Who was the Indian? That's his partner you're talking about?
Yeah.
Gone.
But he was already out, right?
He left after the GameStop stuff. He got scared.
He'll be fine. He'll be fucking running Coreweave.
Indians are risk averse.
He didn't want to go to the El Salvador prison.
Yeah.
Man.
We're not fucking around in America anymore.
It's just funny too how much people like forget. Like if your product is good, people forget.
About Tesla.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna like the short-term pain. It's just a superior product than anything in the market. It's gonna fucking win. As long as they keep innovating, who's gonna win? GM? Ford?
Right.
Rivian's $1 bazillion. No one outside of LA drives a Rivian.
The Nikola guy got pardoned.
Okay, well, he ain't coming back.
He got pardoned by Trump?
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't know why, but he got pardoned.
He's a good golfer.
He did donate.
Okay, next up, let's talk about TikTok Shop. So we've talked about it a little bit on the pod, and we've actually talked kind of about what this article is about how they are giving some real competition to places like Amazon. We talked about it a couple episodes ago. And, in my world, TikTok Shop is a huge thing. It's all the rage. They're doing such a good job. It's also like such a different thing. I mean, Instagram and Facebook tried shopping for so long and couldn't get it. And there's just something about when your social media platform is also your shopping platform that no one's been able to do. Yeah, that no one's been able to do. And they're doing it. And I think they might even be doing it at a higher level or moving at a faster pace than what most people realize. I'm sure Amazon is well aware, but they must be scared to death. But anyway, what do you guys think? I mean, there's just TikTok Shop is shaking it up.
So it says there's 42 million people shopping on TikTok currently. It says it's doing approximately $35 million a day, which is, call it $12 billion a year in sales, which is still very tiny in the grand scheme of retail, but it didn't exist like 18 months ago.
That's not their take. That's like GMV type.
GMV, yeah.
Right.
So here's my kind of bone to pick with how TikTok's rolling this out. So you have all these clip artists, right? That take a Joe Rogan clip talking about the BCP, what is it? BCP 12, whatever it is, the peptide.
Yeah.
And I get spammed all these clips.
They get affiliate revenue.
I know.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get you to buy it.
That's genius. You have everyone selling for you. So the brand then goes up on TikTok.
But it's become a worse experience for me on TikTok.
Right.
Because everything I could tell the clip is trying to sell me a product.
So that's the only, if I could say that TikTok has one thing to dial and be careful as they scale is how to, like right now, they're kind of like, they obviously see that you like Joe Rogan. You've watched one of those clips all the way through. And so now they're spamming you. TikTok is spamming you with that content because they're convinced that you'll buy. And if you buy, great, there's another transaction. And so they're working so hard to get you to transact that they are definitely slightly lessening the quality of the TikTok experience. I think that it's just something you have to dial in. Like you could do it too much and TikTok becomes really whack. You could do it not enough and you have no revenue, but you can see them trying to figure that out.
What they're doing, and this is why I actually have lessened my TikTok usage, because every clip is of a real clip, but it's trying to sell me something. And I know it's bullshit.
You know what's interesting? You know, Meta and TikTok in February had down usage.
Interesting.
That's really interesting. But let me just say one quick thing here. One quick little rant is I'm telling you guys, I have really dove into this in the last few months, right? Because it's so big in my world. I'm telling you that as of right now, TikTok is changing not only the shopping experience in the way that they are, they're changing like what it means to be an influencer. Like, meaning if you were an influencer before, you had to make really good content, build up a following, and then hopefully get brand deals. So maybe you signed to an agency. Maybe once you got really big, you reached out to brands directly, but you were taking paychecks for posts. You know, maybe affiliate links, I guess, but those weren't really that popular, whatever. Now, the same way that TikTok has made it so that truly any creator has a chance to go viral and to become a celebrity, like people become famous way quicker on TikTok than they did on Instagram.
Yep.
You also now can become an influencer that makes 6 figures a year much quicker and on your own schedule. You don't have to wait to sign to an agency or get discovered or for a brand to find you. You can literally just go through the TikTok shop, see the items that offer commission. If you believe that you make great content that knows how to convert that product, you just make it and you get your commission and you can literally earn 6 figures from your bedroom in Indiana when to break through and make it to that level of actually connecting with brands. Like it kills having to connect with the brand. The brand offers, hey, make videos. I don't care. If you make a video and it gets no views, what do I care? No harm, no foul. But if you make a video that sells $50,000 worth of product, amazing. Here's your 20%. It's changing it's changing what it means to be an influencer. It's really interesting what's happening.
But you know, the sad part, just as a consumer, is that every app has to turn into this.
Yeah.
Because I actually thought TikTok was so fun 18 months to 24 months ago.
Right.
Where you just like scroll through shit. And now I know I'm the bait.
But that's what television is, right?
You're just sitting in.
What you should be able to do is pay.
Fun.
You should be able to pay for a TikTok version that gives you no shoppable links.
Well, I mean, Meta wants to do.
And you said it was stupid.
Stupid. You even said, I like the ads. And now for TikTok, because it's Chinese, you don't like it?
Wait, explain what? Meta what?
Meta's about to offer, I think, $14 a month.
$14 a month, an ad-free version of Instagram.
That's what, I mean, if TikTok did that, I would pay it, to be honest, because.
I would never.
Why?
Honestly, with TikTok, because I think it's a better algorithm.
Yeah.
I would do it.
The algorithm is incredible. But you just got to keep in mind on what they're doing. So you and I are saying we would pay, and I think they should offer that, right? We're saying that we would pay. What I'm telling you that you have to understand is we have pretty high standards compared to the rest of the country, let's say. TikTok is using the same genius that they use to tell who watches what content for what amount of time and give you more of that, to say who shops and give you more of that. And so that's why I think if you're Amazon, you should be scared to death, is because you see that TikTok has an undeniably superior algorithm to any other social media ever. And they're applying that to, now they're giving content more boost and finding the shopper and the person who's going to convert. and they're doing that better than anywhere else in the world. Like even what could you compare it to? Meta ads. If you use ads, and how good does Meta do at pairing you with a shopper? We already know TikTok has a superior algorithm to anything Meta has. So it's when it comes to revenue, it's wild.
I'll play out some math for you, right? Like, if you were to take 1 million job losses this year, and say the average income is $60,000.
Right.
Okay. What is that? Is that 6 billion or 60 billion?
Million times 60,000?
Yeah.
6 billion.
Yep. 6 billion.
Wait.
That's it?
No. 60 billion.
No.
Yeah.
60 billion.
60 billion. Sorry.
60 billion, right? $60 billion, right? Of income.
Well, the non-college guy corrected us on math.
I read a lot of books.
Yeah. Watch, it's like 6 trillion.
Yeah, it might be.
If you were to take that equation and look at what's possible in a world where if 1 million people lost their job tomorrow, which we all believe millions of people are going to lose their job tomorrow, and TikTok comes out and says, fuck it, which they've already done. Anyone can make money off selling anything you want.
Right.
The ad market globally, it's $1 trillion probably, right? Like it can shift from television, which we know is nonsense, to say creators overnight. If everyone we know, like for example, like the commercial we did for Raised in the beginning of this episode, right? Like we just did it because he's our friend, but like if we put it on TikTok Shop or TikTok and we post a link of our interview with Ali,
he might ask us at this point.
Yes. No, but we're going to post it anyways, right? If we had an affiliate, we'll just post it and we get our 15%. And if we make $300 from selling some Raised, why the fuck not? Right? Like, and I think what's going to happen is we're all going to be talking about shit. People are influencing my purchasing behaviors every day. Like I saw someone post some fucking salt. I bought it. I saw someone post something. I bought it. Right? Like if we just turn everyone into revenue generators, that is a pretty good use case where the economy changes into like full creator economy. And the only one that has the infrastructure to actually monetize is TikTok. Instagram is slept on the wheel for a fucking decade on this. They should have built this 10 fucking years ago. Like I should be easy. It'll be like, go ahead.
I'm telling you that is what is happening. And I'm telling you that people are smarter. Okay, let me give you an example. What people are doing. Okay, over the weekend in our group chat, somebody sent a video of Benny Blanco talking about playing We're Not Really Strangers with Selena Gomez. And that was an affiliate. That was an affiliate video. Now, let me tell you why people are so smart. We already made that video. I already made that video with a link, shoppable, and posted it. And it did really, really good. The creators,
on your guys' own social.
Correct. With my own content creator, we turned that quote into a shoppable video.
And then someone else reposted.
These creators are so smart that they see that your shoppable video works. And so they just make their own. So now there's 50 videos that are the same as my video, just a little different. And those are all out in the world now on TikTok, all being shopped. And I'm telling you, that is the way that it works. It is.
Do you know how much
so there's
these
videos? It's not only like you can hack
Let me ask a question. I want to ask one quick question. Could you share how much, not your video, but like one of these creators, how much do you think they made off the video?
So far that I can see, a few $100.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's after a couple of days.
So
they'll all cook. They're all going to cook. They'll probably, you make ongoing revenue as it goes. And but there'll be one that rises to the top that person will make $3,000. And
that's insane.
So two things. One, you're 100% right, because actually Javier put me on game on how TikTok works now, that there's all these accounts that just basically clip the biggest celebrities and just post them and try to get views and try to, I think if you hit a certain threshold, you make some money. Yeah. So you get the best Kai Cenat Ray video, or you get the Mr. Beast video or whatever, and you post it. Second, Mr. Beast, Zuck, were on Colin and Samir's YouTube, and Mr. Beast destroyed how bad Instagram Shop is.
Yeah.
He literally walked detailed. I don't know if you guys saw the clip. I only saw the clip. I didn't watch the whole interview. And he was, and Samir, his brother's a good friend of mine. Yeah. Sahil, shout out to him. But anyways, he was just like, I should be able to watch a video, see something that is shoppable, click on the link, and you already know my address, buy, and I don't lose the momentum video, of the video.
Right. They have no idea what they're doing.
But that's essentially what TikTok
I want to
does.
watch. Yes.
And I'm telling you guys, trust me, I could go on about this for hours. I'm telling you that it's not. What's now happening is you can become like a clip maker.
Yes.
And that's a career. And so
100%.
And so whether you're doing
I learned this last week.
So whether you're doing it like how you're saying it, Anand, which is more like racking up views, making Kai Cenat videos, making whatever, and making money from the creator fund or whatever. I'm telling you that people are also doing that with products. And so they're so smart. Like they see what works. They see what converts product, and they just go make 10 versions of it. Because what do they care? And the way that the algorithm works, it's a democratized, anyone has a chance to go viral. And if you go viral and then you learn in your head how to make ads, now you have to understand what used to be in-house for a brand, which is I work with an agency, I make 30 ads a month and I send it to my agency for Meta. Now there is an army of people doing that for you because they also benefit. And so they're only focused on making the best ad.
First, Russia and China.
Right. Well, China, this is China putting it to work. I'm telling you, man, it is fundamentally changing not only the way that influencers and that stuff are, what jobs are available, like you said, Dee. And also so far ahead of what Meta's doing or Amazon even. It's wild. I think it's way more disruptive.
And Zuck's response was pretty bad. He's like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, he even mentioned about that Mr. Beast was talking about how people are optimizing. He did his most viewed video. He doesn't say a word. And it's because he believes that speaking English hurts his chance at having a Instagram video go viral, because of the 3 billion users on Meta, only 500 speak English. So he's found these little hacks like
That's
that.
insane.
Mr. Beast is a genius.
It's essentially that. It's like what Mr. Beast does. It's like hacking. Like you can hack these algorithms and these different things. And I think, I think where Zuck, who knows, maybe this won't age well. I think Zuck thought he was thinking about the future, and he was thinking about like the metaverse and, augmented reality glasses and all that shit. And I think the future was actually shopping.
The future is in front of his face.
Yeah. Like, I think the iteration, like essentially what TikTok did was, iterated on social media. Yeah. I think the future of social media is essentially what TikTok is doing. It was an iteration on previous social media. And I think it's that. I don't think it's, obviously the metaverse. And I mean, look, the Google or the Meta glasses are pretty cool, but I don't.
Yeah. The AR, VR, 30, 40 billion he spent probably was not good money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a joke.
Yeah. I think all you need to do is figure out shopping and a better algorithm.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling you guys, trust me, from learning all this stuff, I think TikTok, in 6 months, the way we're going to look at.
So you're saying a listener that wants to be an affiliate to We're Not Really Strangers can use that video from Benny Blanco and make money.
Yeah. Not only that, but you'd be smart to do it. All you have to do is look at our page, see what works for us, and go do it. There's the answer. We'll figure out what works. and you can go do it.
That's hot.
I'm telling you, bro.
Person, some person in their college dorm room should be doing this right now.
Yeah, it's an insane. And when you see I'm talking about my experience. There are people doing this on a level. I'll fill you guys in. Let's go get drinks because I could talk about it for hours. There are people doing this on a level that is unimaginable. Wow. And I'll show you the screenshots from there, what they're doing.
This reminds me of kind of early Amazon seller days.
Yeah, where everyone's making money.
Yeah.
So that is the conversation. What everyone is saying that this is in like the e-commerce world is Facebook 12?
Yeah.
Amazon, when it was first skyrocketing, TikTok Shop today. It's one of those moments. The moment when, you guys took advantage of it, Dee, where Facebook ads were just, got an 8 ROAS Facebook on anything you did.
2013, I put in, I'll give you my journey on Facebook. 2013, I start spending December of 2013, $100 a day. By January, we're spending $1,000. By the end of that year, we're spending $30,000 a day, all profitably.
And what I'm saying is that is TikTok Shop today. Okay, listen, to all the listeners, I have no idea exactly how we're ending here. We just had some audio issues. Hopefully we got a clean ending, but we're going to pick up where we left off in the next episode because we don't want you guys to listen through all of the static. So I'm going to end it with some shout outs. We have one YouTube comment from Bryce Betts. Speed is a prime hydration athlete. Speed barks in his content a lot. So I can only imagine that is in reference to something you guys said on Wednesday, not understanding why Speed was barking. You're scratching. See, listen, that's what it sounds like, listeners. Go
ahead.
Okay, shout out to Bryce Betts. And just a reminder, go on YouTube. We are Group Chat News. And we really encourage you to go check us out over there, especially if you do, make sure you leave a comment. Okay, from Patrick, shout out to my wife, Carla, recently promoted to vice president of PR at a top San Diego marketing agency and recently had a birthday as well. Plus, she listens to Group Chat with me, #1 podcast in the world. Shout out to Carla. From Vinay, shout out today for Kevin Weatherman. Happy birthday and thanks for always leading the best run club in NYC, Pitch and Run. Can't wait to see you at High Rocks this weekend and celebrate. Shout out Kevin, our boy Kevin. From David, my brother Scott and his wife Allie, as she is now pregnant with their first child. Scott put me onto the pod during COVID and been a loyal follower ever since. Shout out to Scott and shout out to Allie. Congratulations. From Nick, shout out to Ryan, Park City Ski Connect, for his awesome performance at the Red Bull Cascade event at Solitude. I've got a hookup at Solitude, so if Dee, Anand, or Drama come through, let me know. Shout out to Ryan. And last but not least, from El Cardozo. I have a question, not a shout out, particularly for Dee and Anand. Well, the bad thing is their mics aren't working. If you guys had your kids in 12th grade if you guys, that's the one you read earlier. Okay. So the good news is Dee already covered that one earlier. He said, if your kids were going into 12th grade about to go to college, or in 12th grade about to go to college, what would you have them major in, or what would you have them do as a career path? Straight A student, varsity athlete, and good kid all around. I'm a teacher. His mom is a nurse. So just to reiterate, Dee and Anand both sort of agreed that experience, socializing, meeting people, they wish they would have studied abroad, but really learning how to be self-sufficient and also socialize and make great connections is a priceless skill. The only thing that I'll add to that is I think making sure that young people learn how to think, I think is really good. So that's kind of what we talked about with sports, with resilience. There's a million books on this topic. I don't want to be the boring book guy on this one, but I think that one thing, at least I learned from not playing sports when I was young and growing up in small town Ohio, is from a lot of the reading that I've done, I've learned that there was a lot of ways that I was thinking that weren't real, like, or weren't correct, or weren't the most effective about how to handle adversity, about how to go through tough times, about how to look at failure. So I think a lot of schools teach kids like what to think, or teach you how to like absorb information and remember it for a test. But I don't know that they teach you how to think well, and how some of the smartest, most successful people in the world are thinking, mental models, things like that. So a lot of great books. ChatGPT can teach you a lot about that. That is it. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you Wednesday.